Enra showdown so ewo Ghana yamra shebedwa efie ho ya na eye yewura Afenyo Markins ene Mahama Ayarega majority leader ene minority leader wo menu wo ede boani a enya asam keto ni na da eye budget a so ne adeade ane ensem bi a NDC ameku no eka ye ebra wo ewo opposition a wo eba ye no enema bi etimi ayera efrimu no eno ena Afenyo Markins ene wo de NDC ameku no ntirechem fund tiemu ankasa Abusua ema obanfo tresa Afenyo Markins ampa otimi agina so woye minority leader woye domkuma no ekandini na ensema wokan abusua jebra na yenkonko tie bimra.
I think first of all he also got his facts wrong. If he argues that agreement never came back to this house, he's wrong. At least I was a majority leader, so I'm able to put things in the right context. Mr. Speaker, with respect, when the Honorable Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, Abu Jinapo, as he then was, appeared before the committee, our friends in the NDC held a press conference to register their opposition to the agreement in its entirety. So it's the reason he asked what has changed. Now, Mr. Speaker, the leader of government business should have called me that respect I always give him. I'm always quiet whenever he's speaking, you know, because I know that I have the content in me, so I don't need to rush. Mr. Speaker, if you prepare to come into this chamber, you fear no evil. Even if I'm given 1 minute, I will speak on the matter that I prepared for. So he should allow me, so that the two of us can show a good example to our followers. Mr. Speaker, I was a leader of government business, and the attempt to lay the paper, I'm happy the deputy minority leader, Ama Kofi Boa, as he then was, is right here in this chamber. Mr. Speaker, he and his colleagues denied us the opportunity to lay this paper, that they won't allow. In fact, Mr. Speaker, Honorable Kwame Agboja, to quote him, right here, Mr. Speaker, I was here begging him. He said, quote, "There will be chaos in this chamber." I have the hands up. Those were his words, that there will be chaos if we attempt to lay it. Today, you have brought this agreement in your own words. In your own words. In your own words. You said the prices have gone down. Mr. Speaker, this agreement in its current state is worse than before. Royalties have lowered. And if the majority leader's only response is that the change is because you are now in majority. So, Mr. Speaker, where is the principle? If yesterday you told the people of Ghana that a particular agreement in its form and shape was not good for the good of the country, today you say the mere fact that you are in majority, you have numbers, you will bring the same agreement in its worst situation, and you pass it. Then because you have super majority, you will pass it. Mr. Speaker, all of a sudden our friends opposite have forgotten their own principle requiring pre-laying. Mr. Speaker, in the 8th Parliament, our friends introduced a new system of practice called pre-laying, that if there is no pre-laying, we cannot. And they emphasize that important documents must be pre-laid, and pre-laying to them meant that leadership must have the matter deliberated extensively for a consensus to be built before. And Mr. Speaker may recall that on the matters of tax waiver, they argued strongly that we should do pre-laying, discuss it before we even lay it. Mr. Speaker, that is what they did. But you know, I have told you, and I'll repeat, that thing called posterity. Today, the rules are being interpreted. Honorable Ayarega is introducing new jurisprudence. I would take them. I will not be paying at all. Me, I will not be emotional on it. Whenever I'm arrested, I'll say, yes, sir. But you will be haunted by your own deeds. You told the people of Ghana that the lithium agreement was bad. Today, as at that time, so the same thing. You have not changed anything, no? The same agreement. You have not changed a word. You have brought the same agreement. Mr. Speaker, the agreement that you say it was bad, when it was under Akufo-Addo government, you said the agreement was bad. Today, even when the royalties have been lowered, and the royalties have been lowered, you are bringing it. When prices have gone down, you are now bringing it, claiming that you have super majority. You use your numbers to pass it. Mr. Speaker, we want to be guided by principle. Mr. Speaker, we want to be guided by principle and remind our colleagues that it is only fair to be consistent, to remain firm on a matter that you believe strongly that it is good or wrong. Mr. Speaker, today, if the majority, because they are in power, they have found it convenient to reintroduce the very agreement they rejected.
And so I don't know, Mr. Speaker, respectfully, I don't know whether the point I'm about to make will find favor with you. Now, Mr. Speaker, when you read Order 97, 1 to 6, the totality of it, the combined effect of 97, 1 to 6, is to the effect that the Speaker has a discretion either to admit the laying and do the referral or not. The Speaker, with the greatest of respect, I was in this House in the 8th Parliament, and I was called upon to give a similar explanatory statement for the laying of the agreement for the exploitation of our lithium resources between these same two parties, the government of Ghana and Barari DV Ghana Limited. The Speaker, yourself, as the Speaker of the 8th Parliament, took particular interest in that agreement. Mr. Speaker, you even had an occasion to invite me to your chamber and nudge me that we're required to carry the whole country with us because of the importance of this agreement, the importance of the mineral, lithium. Mr. Speaker, I need not point out the controversy it generated in our country. Mr. Speaker, so the point I was going to, the invitation I was going to make of you is that the application, the effort we made in the 8th Parliament to lay an agreement for the exploitation of the lithium resources between the same two parties, the government of Ghana and Barari BV, which was rejected by this House. We could not lay it, and it was not referred to a committee. Mr. Speaker, the explanatory statement made by the current Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Mr. Speaker, the terms of it, the terms of the explanatory statement is not different from the terms of the explanatory statement I made in this House as Minister for Lands and Natural Resources. Mr. Speaker, and therefore, I was going to pray and advise you that the combined effect of Order 97, 1 to 6, the combined effect of Order 97, 1 to 6, Mr. Speaker, respectfully, I was going to pray that this laying be overruled and this laying be rejected because, Mr. Speaker, I have the various components the minister has submitted to this House as being the fundamental terms of the agreement between the same two parties, Mr. Speaker, fundamentally not different. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, what applied to that agreement in the 8th Parliament, which fortunately was the same Speaker in the chair, and which culminated in the rejection of the attempt to lay that agreement. Mr. Speaker, same should apply. Mr. Speaker, I conclude by just asking a simple question, and I want to believe that we will get into this matter in a much more detail. Mr. Speaker, the fundamental question which the average Ghanaian will ask, Mr. Speaker, is that what has changed? What has changed? What has changed? What has changed? What has changed between the agreement between the government of Ghana and Barari DV and the terms of the agreement between the government of Ghana and Barari DV in 2025? Mr. Speaker, I conclude. Mr. Speaker, I conclude, Mr. Speaker. I conclude by submitting, Mr. Speaker. I conclude by submitting that the position you took in the 8th Parliament was for the good of Ghana. Lithium is a rare resource. Lithium is the mineral of the future, as the experts say. Lithium, indeed, Mr. Speaker, is the foundation of the current effort of green transition. Lithium, Mr. Speaker, is the bedrock that the world is attempting to use to fight climate change. And so when the Speaker insisted that Ghana should get the full benefit of the exploitation of our mineral resources, one could not disagree with you. But the question today is that 2025, Mr. Speaker, what has changed? What has changed? What has changed? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
When is some of Markins what they to dra ya do another and they one more airborne abaso say eban say I NPP ame yokuno mu de wade agire mo ne aye de pa dia and the enua enne yewura Afenyo Markins ya de enro si wo parliament no busua and the ano de pa Afenyo Markins enne ekokotie no e de ba nyanko comment section ne nkonkodi enkomo.